For many people in Boston these days, the main problem with the housing market is the high price of recovery. But some homeowners and former owners continue to struggle with the market's collapse and the loans that went bad. That's the reason for two recent actions in Dorchester by City Life Vida Urbana. Both actions are about trying to clear up the mortgage trouble without displacing the former homeowners. Joining us are one of the former homeowners, Maria Baptista, who's a member of City Life Vida Urbana, and an organizer from the group, Antonio Ennis. Thank you both very much for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
I want to start with Maria. Talk about where you live and who's there with you that you're worried about.
I have my kids. I have a niece who lives with me, and I have my young son, which is in school right now, but on vacation he spends most of the time with me.
So this is a house in Dorchester?
35 Fox Street.
Right.
Correct.
Right. And I guess, so you had trouble, I guess this is part of the, when the market went bad, I guess?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
What about the kind of mortgage? Was this a regular mortgage, or was there something unusual about this that turned out to be a real problem?
Well, first we had a mortgage for $2,000 something, and then the mortgage went up to $3,900, and then I was working like 2 jobs and to keep my mortgage, but I had into a car accident in 2009, which I got disabled, and the doctor asked me to be, to do my surgery on back, but I was so scared. I kept, I didn't want to do it because it was, people trying to scare me. It was danger to do a spine surgery, so I didn't want to do it. All over the sudden, I went to a lot of stress with the pain. It was very painful on my back. I couldn't even breathe, and I went to the doctor for last year. I decided to go and check with him again, and then he says, definitely you have to do your spine surgery. Otherwise, one day if you fell, you're going to be on your wheelchair. So I decided to go over for the spine surgery, and until now, I got from this problem with the house and stuff, I got into a stream. It's anxiety, is stress, is a lot of stuff. So I'm trying to, I'm under medication right now.
Yeah, it's
not very, very stressful.
Not easy to reorganize things in that
Yes.
state. Antonio, what about getting things set in order in a different way? I mean, I guess somebody holds the rights to the property because of the mortgage that wasn't paid. So, they can sell this, and you're trying to have something done differently.
Yeah, we're trying to have COHIF, which is the Coalition for Occupied Homes and Foreclosure. They're a nonprofit organization, and they've been, aggressively trying to purchase her property from Fannie Mae. However, Fannie Mae continues to move forward with eviction proceedings to get her out of there, and that's what we're trying to stop. It's that you see the way she feels and the way, the anxiety that it brings her family, the thought of being evicted, the thought of not having a roof over your head, it's a health issue as well. And so we did the vigil last night to try to put pressure on Fannie Mae and just say, stop the no-fault eviction, continue the negotiations with COHIF, who plans to, keep her in the home, keep the home in the family, in the community, put it on a land trust, and it'll be permanently affordable housing, and no one's going to profit from that. And that's really our message.
Now, a few years ago, when the market was still pretty low, if you sold property in foreclosure, it would go pretty cheap. Now I'm sure it's not going to be as cheap as it was. So how close could a community nonprofit come to the going rate?
Well, the thing is, the whole point of it is just keeping it affordable. So COHIF would want to purchase it at a price that is doable, that makes sense, somewhere probably below market value. The bank's already made their money off this home, so it's not an issue of that.
So what is the issue? I mean, in Washington, I heard there was supposed to be a change of policy that the agencies that control the secondary mortgage market, they were going to go along with these resales.
Right. And we've submitted cases, principal reduction cases to Mel Watt's office as early as last week, 2 weeks ago, and we're still waiting for results on that. They've agreed to do donations and buybacks. So this is part of, donations would be what the community wants. It can be part of their payback into the National Housing Trust Fund. Or in 2008, they were supposed to pay into that. They haven't paid anything into that to date. It's over $580 million that's not in the National Housing Trust Fund. So donations could be payment towards that.
Maria, how did you feel about the action, the vigil that took place?
It was wonderful. I like it, and to put a little pressure on the bank, I think it's correct because they probably decide to sell to this nonprofit organization, so I can be living there on a affordable rent.
How does it feel working with City Life?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's a good organization. Since I've been with them, I feel, relieved a little bit from my stress, because, I found that I have someone I can count with so they can help me to fight against these monsters.
Right. Antonio, finally, put a little perspective here in the bigger story. I know Boston Community Loan Fund is another nonprofit that's been helping homeowners with similar distress. How important is it to have a group like yours pushing things and trying to get some changes made?
Well, it's important, like as you mentioned, BCC. We send a lot of our members there as well. The difference between that is, and COHIF is with BCC, you can work to purchase your home back. With COHIF, you become a renter, and so that's a lot of times when you end up with COHIF, you've been denied by BCC. And so this is another option, kind of like the last option that a former homeowner has to stay in their home.
And these properties these days, when they sell these 3-deckers or condos in 3-deckers, we're not talking about owner occupants a lot of the time who hold the title.
Right, and that's again, that's another great thing about COHIF because they want that if it's a triple decker, they want it all occupied.
People need help. Antonio, what's the best way to get in touch with City Life Vida Urbana?
www.clvu.org.
All right, thank you both very much for being with us. Antonio Ennis and Maria Baptista for City Life Vida Urbana. In a moment, the split between Black lives and Black identity. We'll talk about a new production by the Huntington Theater Company.